is out today as UC Davis football is getting ready to kick off in about a half an hour. You've probably heard me around on the station now and again, most notably on the Alan Stiles Show from 10 to 2, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports. But I'm filling in today for Scott Marsh, but I am joined alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner. Henry, how are you doing today?
Man, I didn't hit the big time. I get to hang out with Kyle Ledbetter, my man.
My man, Henry Turner. You know, how many years I was sitting on the other side of the glass, working these games together, talking to you guys down the line, and now here I am in the big chair, sitting here with you, talking Kings basketball.
Hey, man, you making the big moves, bro. I'm proud of you, man. You done put in your work. You've been diligent, been behind the board, doing what you got to do. Now you on a big-time afternoon show. Who would ever thought?
Look at us, Henry. Look at us.
Now, that's you, man. I ain't on nobody's show. I'm still struggling down here at the bottom.
No, you've been here longer than I've been around, Henry. You've been on these airwaves since I was about 2 feet tall.
You know what? This is my 18th year broadcasting, bro. Can you believe it?
18 years.
18 years. You know what? I'm trying to follow the man that I sit next to every game. You know, I definitely honor and I treasure every day that I get to work with G-Man.
G-Man is the absolute best. He's going on, what is this, 41 now?
41. And, I'm trying to learn, and I want to have that ride just like he got.
Think about that this way, Henry. You could put in 22 more years.
22.
And you still wouldn't be at where G-Man is right now.
Nope.
How about that? Well,
hey, you know what? A hell of a career, Kyle. And, you know, I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to keep bringing it up because I honestly think it needs to be done. Something needs to be put at that G1, a little statue with a microphone, something for G-Man, and really give this man his flowers right now while he's here because he honestly and truly deserves it.
I think he's going to have a banner up there in the rafters one day. If our guy Jerry Reynolds is up
you know
there.
What? But I'm saying he needs it now. He needs it now because we don't know how much longer G-Man's going to be here. But still, let him see how people really adore him and how much he's loved and show him now so he can see it.
Well, I know a certain someone who works for the Kings that might be sitting in the studio that might be able to put in a little message. Maybe we can talk to the higher-ups.
Hey, I'm going to throw it out there, man, every time I go on the mic because I appreciate and I adore that man just that much.
Yeah, we all love G-Man, and G-Man's going to join us in about an hour here. Chris Watkins will be hopping in my chair for Kings Live pregame. That's going to be getting going at 1:30 today. But, Henry, to kick off the show, as Scott Marsh would do, we got to go back to the game before, Wednesday.
So you know you got to be negative, right? Because Scott, every time Scott go back, Scott's negative. So go ahead.
You know what? Look, the Bulls, they've been down on their luck, right? It's been a tough 5, 10, 20 years now for the Bulls. So I'm sure the Kings got a lot of former Bulls players. So I'm sure the game went great on Wednesday, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Well, not so much. The Bulls ended up routing the Kings. At one point, they scored 71 points in about 19 and a half minutes. Doug Christie pulled the starters with about 2 minutes left in the game to a little bit of dismay of Kings fans. You know, they were down 14 points at that point. But, you know, at a certain point, you just got to wave the white flag. And like I said earlier this week, I've seen teams pull starters for less. I've seen team pull starters for more. So the Kings end up getting routed by the Bulls, and now that you've had a few days to think about it, what are your takeaways from the game?
Well, I'll go right to the pull the starters type situation, Kyle. At the end of the day, you really have to understand the Kings are on a long road trip, bro. So you down 14, and if you don't see this team moving in an upward trajectory, you got to pull these guys because you got to go up against Milwaukee in a couple of days. So you really have to evaluate where your team is going. And then when you look at how the Kings have been playing these first 5 games, it hasn't been all bad, but it hasn't been all good. You know, and I'm not going to even say it's 50-50. I see it's spurts out there. When we look at the Chicago game, I think the Kings played a good 2 quarters of basketball. You know, 2 quarters you see where the Kings should be, how they should be elevated. You look at the squad, you say, okay, they could be something. But they can't put it together for 4 quarters, right? And a problem with that is that the Kings have holes but then they have gaping holes. People will look at the signing of Keegan Murray and they're like, oh, my God, they gave Keegan Murray this. Well, you have to understand, the gaping holes that the Kings have, Keegan Murray is the guy that fills those holes.
And with Keegan Murray out, Nick Clifford had kind of filled that role the first game of the season.
And he's out.
He didn't play. We're expecting him to be back today, so hopefully that fills the hole a little bit. But against Chicago, they just kept getting picked apart. Matas Buzelis, their incredible second-year player, season-high 28 points. Patrick Williams, again, their 4. The guy Keegan might have been guarding, hit 3 3-pointers, ended up in double figures.
I mean, Kyle, if you're Chicago and you're looking at the Kings roster coming in, right? This roster's in front of us, and you look and you see exactly who we have on that roster. And you said, okay, they got a bunch of veterans that have had very good careers, but they're older, right? Guess what? All of these guys are about 6'7" and under. Okay, you got Domas in the middle, and Domas is at 75%, and everybody else is 6'6", 6'7" and under. And you think about it, you're like, okay, first of all, we got to crush them on the boards, right? Number 2, we got to test them at the rim. And number 3, they're a little bit older. I got a bunch of young cats right here. We better run Sacramento out the building. And when you look at the end of the game, what happened?
That's exactly where it went. And even to your point, too, with those guys 6'7" and under on the floor, it's not like they're at any point in their careers these defensive aficionados that you can put out there. DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, they're there for their scoring. You take what you can get on defense, and the defense has been okay this year, but against a team like Chicago, like you said, with the Buzelises and Patrick Williams and Vucevic in the middle working Sabonis, it was a size advantage.
Well, Kyle, until your team understands, and I'm sorry, everybody that's in the NBA knows this because you've been through it through your career, high school, college, and in the NBA. At the end of the day, you have to learn how to play small ball. When you play small ball, that means everybody is getting rebounds and everybody is on a string. You're going to have to do some flying around. You're going to have to get some steals, deflections, get out in transition. That's the only way you're going to be able to stay alive at small ball. And then when that's not working, you're going to have to go to some gimmick defenses. You're going to have to go to a boxing 1, 2-3 zone, matchup zone, just to kind of keep these guys off kilter. Because if you come down against, let's say, a team that has a big guy in the middle and you're trying to play a half-court game, you're cooked. Because one or two things are going to happen. First of all, they're going to kill you on the rebounds. They're going to get offensive rebounds. They're going to get second-chance shots. That makes you lose a basketball game. And then Domas is down there trying to guard 2 big guys and at 75%. He's going to get in foul trouble, and then where you go?
And I'm glad you brought this up, Henry, because we can talk about all sorts of reasons how the Kings have gotten to 1-4 with, again, losses against the Suns, a team that didn't win their next 4 games after beating the Kings. The Bulls, who have been very good this year, but most people did not expect to make the playoffs. They're kind of in a retool period right now. But to your point about the rebounding, Sacramento Kings so far this season have had 37.4 rebounds per game. That comes in dead last in the NBA right now. Dead last in the league. Only Toronto and Brooklyn find themselves below 40 at this point. And to your point, gang rebounding, the size disadvantage, that was on display against Chicago.
But Kyle, you have to, bro. You have to. It's not maybe or sometime. If you're going to play a 6'7" roster, you have to get. I mean, it can be done. Golden State has done it. Don Nelson back in the day has done it. It's been plenty of teams that have come out with 6'7", 6'8" guys all the way across the board and has been able to be successful. But you guys have to know how to play that style of game. There's no way DeMar DeRozan plays 30 minutes and have 1 rebound. There's no way Zach LaVine plays 30 minutes and only have 3 rebounds. Those are your 2 major guys. Both of those guys got to end the game with 7 and 8 rebounds.
Yeah, you can't ask Sabonis to end every game with 18, 19,
exactly.
20.
And Russell going to come in and rebound. But everybody has to do their part. If you don't, they get second chance shots. And you mean to tell me you're going to give a team like, whoever they got the great jump shooters outside, you can give them second or third chances at shots? No, you're killing yourself.
Yeah, and they've got to find some answers in the short term that aren't really that obvious. Keegan Murray's going to be out for a few more weeks. We're expecting about maybe 10, 15 games before his reevaluation period. Nick Clifford is going to come back hopefully today, but guys like Dario Saric, Drew Eubanks, Isaac Jones, Maxime Reynaud, Dylan Cardwell, they haven't really been seeing the floor. So the Kings have decided that this smaller lineup for now is the way to go.
But the smaller lineup, and I'm going to go back to what Scott Perry said at the beginning of the year, the smaller lineup has to buy in. If you don't buy into this small ball type of play, you're going to get your head cracked every night. There's no way when that ball goes up and you turn and you watch that ball, you beat. Because you're not boxing your man out. He's going to the rebound. You know, I know the other night when Sabonis got a critical rebound from boxed his man, I got a critical rebound. Dort came over for OKC, right? Came flying in, missed the rebound, but as soon as Sabonis turned his head, he grabbed the ball out of Sabonis' hand. And everybody's crying, Sabonis, you got to hold the ball. Sabonis, you got to hold the ball. No. How about somebody box out Dort? Because if they box him out, we ain't got to worry about him knocking the ball out of Sabonis' hand.
Well, Henry, today's going to be a bit of a chance to turn the tide against, I'm just checking my notes here, the former league MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, Giannis is questionable. We'll get our full injury report coming up later in the show, but on the other side, let's talk about those Milwaukee Bucks and what they've been doing so far on this young season. Obviously, no more Chris Middleton, no more Damian Lillard. They've brought in a bunch of new pieces, and they seem to be a bit of a strength in numbers team so far.
Can you say they rebuilding?
It could be something like that.
They are rebuilding a squad with probably, with one mega superstar. This is how you rebuild.
This is the way to go. Their hand's been forced, no draft picks, and they are certainly making lemons out of lemonade out there in Milwaukee. So on the other side, we'll talk about the Bucks. Wanted to tell you, though, that Game Night is brought to you by Power Business Technology. Experience how the power of family can help your business office equipment needs today. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or go to powercopiers.com. More of Game Night coming up next right here on Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
The winter service event is on at Maida Subaru. Now is the time to let Maida Subaru get your Subaru road ready for the winter weather with exceptional savings on tires, brakes, wiper blades, and more. See all the service specials at MaidaSubaru.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers. The #1 wiper blades in America.
Hi, this is Adam Ortner, co-owner of the historic Firehouse Restaurant in Old Sacramento. We're celebrating 65 years of excellence this season. Come visit us where our motto is guests first. We are locally owned and have been in the capital city since 1960. Come experience our finest steaks, chops, and fresh seafood. The Firehouse also has the Central Valley's most awarded wine selection. Level up your pregame at the Firehouse for a quick and easy meal with valet parking for just $10.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
If your vibe is the earlier the better, Lowe's early Black Friday deals are a no-brainer. Get up to 35% off select major appliances, and rewards members get free delivery, haul away, basic installation, and a 2-year Lowe's protection plan when you spend $2,500 or more on select LG major appliances. Valid through 11/4. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change. LG member offer excludes Massachusetts, Maryland, Wisconsin, New Jersey, and Florida. Selection varies by location. Select locations only. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Cause I pay to play for a day up in my projects.
Welcome back into game night right here on Sactown Sports 1140. It's more of a game day today. It's about 12:47 on the clock right now.
My projects.
My name is Kyle Ledbetter, filling in for Scott Marsh. He's out there at UC Davis Health Stadium for some UC Davis football today. Got my guy Henry Turner here, my guy Ramsey Barker behind the glass with us today.
In the building, baby!
He's your DJ, so if you hear the music, it's going to be a whole lot better than what I'm going to be playing.
Hey, my projects. I like that. I ain't heard that in a minute.
I had to play that because it fits the theme of today. Who are the Kings playing?
Milwaukee.
And where's he from?
Milwaukee.
Yes, I love it.
That take me back way back. That's almost like my college days, a little bit after. First couple of years in the league.
Hey, man, Ramsey's got the bag. His bag is deep when it comes to the playlist.
You know what? Him and Jay go deep. I got to get at it.
And I got some stuff for y'all coming out of these breaks.
Hey, that's their generation, man. Well, you mentioned Milwaukee. That's who the Kings are playing today. Milwaukee Bucks 4-1 on the young season so far. It's a really rough offseason for the Bucks. Obviously, their playoffs end last year with Damian Lillard going down with the torn Achilles.
Right.
Giannis and Tyrese Halliburton's daddy getting into a fight on the court after Tyrese hits the game winner. The Bucks do not have a first-round draft pick until 2032, and they just look like they had nowhere to go.
That's what happens too. You know, a lot of fans get enamored with, go out and get this player, go out and get that player, go get this player, go get that guy, go get this guy. Okay, so when you do go out and get these quote-unquote superstars to match up with your superstar to try to build a super team, right? You give up some things. They gave up the house to go get Dame Lillard.
Yep.
Okay, and the deal, and you know, Dame, my guy, love him. But Dame Lillard didn't work out in Milwaukee the way they thought he would. So now you have to turn around and swallow that and say, okay, now what's our next move? Well, you gave up the house for him. So now you're going to have to really struggle. But the real problem is going to be, how are you going to keep Giannis happy?
Well, that was the big topic of conversation all summer.
How are you going to keep Giannis happy now?
Would Giannis stay? Would Giannis go? There were rumors of him being offered to the New York Knicks, the Knicks not giving the right package that the Bucks wanted. There's a lot happening in Milwaukee.
Do you believe that? Do you? Oh, come on now. We're talking a once-in-a-generational type player. Do you mean to tell me you think that they offered New York Giannis, and New York said, no, we don't need that guy?
I think the Bucks didn't want Karl. And I think that's where it fell through, is you can't make the trade without trading Karl back to the Bucks. And I think that was probably where I think.
So the Bucks turned the deal down.
I believe that's
what I'm saying. I don't see New York saying we don't need Giannis. We can't move. You can't use Giannis.
I think the bigger answer there is you mentioned giving up the house for Dame Lillard, which I don't think was a bad idea at the time. It just didn't work out.
It just didn't work out.
Exactly. So I think the Knicks weren't willing to give up the house and the ADU and the future second mortgage in order to land Giannis.
You know what? Understandable. We're going to ride out with what we have. I definitely understand that. But the thing about it is that I don't think that Brunson is one of those guys that's like, y'all better give up the house or I'm leaving. See, when you have that type of player that you have to keep or appease him enough to say, we want you to stay in Milwaukee, that's why Milwaukee gave up the house to go get all of these players, because they want to keep Giannis. He's a once-in-a-generational type player. So Milwaukee knows when you lose Giannis, it's back to being at the bottom of the barrel.
So you mentioned that once-in-a-generational player, and I said off top, the Bucks are 4-1 so far this season.
Mm-hmm.
Henry, you're a expert on basketball, I'd say. Can you tell me if this is good so far? This is Giannis' stats this year. 36.5 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, 70% from the field shooting, 57% from 3, a block and a half per game, and a steal per game. That is Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I mean, right now, hands down MVP.
Absolutely.
Hands down. If you can't get too much better.
Now, it's early in the season, but Giannis
But I'm just saying, right now, those numbers, you can't get no better.
He was named Eastern Conference Player of the Week for the first week of the season. Wemby, if you look at those numbers, just incredible.
Oh, now he's a problem.
Yeah, I think it was 100 points, 40 rebounds.
You know what? You wrote the book. You might have to rewrite it now. You might have to rewrite the book about San Antonio, because that dude is going to rewrite the book in San Antonio.
I'll tell you what, we published it in February 2023, got drafted a few months later. I think that chapter has been written, and Wemby's going to rewrite this thing.
No doubt.
But Giannis killing it so far this year. Didn't play, though, on Thursday in the Bucks' last game. He's been dealing with a knee issue, which, by the way, we'll have the full injury report coming up. Last we checked, Giannis was questionable today. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. Maybe G-Man will have an update in Kings Live pregame. But Giannis doesn't play Thursday. They're taking on the Golden State Warriors, who have been off to a great start. Sad Jonathan Kuminga's not here, but he is playing great.
Balling out, ain't he?
He is playing great.
Yes.
And the Bucks put a licking on him. 120-110 was the victory. 8 different Bucks scoring in double figures in that game. I've got the numbers here for you. We got 10 points from Taurean Prince, 10 points from Kyle Kuzma, 10 points from A.J. Green, who just got a nice contract extension. Bobby Portis, 12. Gary Trent Jr., 13. Cole Anthony, who was a sneaky good pickup for them, 16 points. The big money acquisition, Miles Turner with 17. And then Ryan Rollins, 32 points to lead the way for the Milwaukee Bucks as they got the win against the Warriors. They seem to have rebuilt their depth, and they did it with a lot of players that were discards from other teams. Journeyman. Yes. Second contract guys. Cole Anthony was given up on by the Magic.
Guys who still want to prove that they belong. Guys who still want to prove that they are more than just a flash in the night on the NBA squad. But they got guys who have bought in. The word buy-in, man, is so huge for the NBA. Because if you don't have everybody on the same accord, like right now, Giannis is out. Somebody off that bench came in and said, you know what? I'm going to have a Giannis-type night. Boom. There it is. You don't miss Giannis, not a step. The team keeps moving. The other guys look and say, okay, Giannis is out. Guess what? I average 10, I got to get 12. You average 8, you got to get 14. You average 12, you got to get 16. You have to understand that and know that as soon as you walk in the arena, big fella ain't playing tonight. You know what? I average 6 rebounds. I got to go get 8.
And the biggest part of it, playing great team defense while also scoring those points.
Buy-in, Kyle. Team defense is what? The buy-in, bro. Everybody wants to play. And I'm telling you, if you don't have that, it looks bad on the floor.
And one thing I do have to say about Milwaukee, we talked about this off air. The last 2 games that Ryan Rowland has played against the Knicks and against the Warriors, which was a revenge game for him because he started his career with the Warriors, he's got his career high. Career high was 25 against the Knicks. Then that 32 you mentioned, Kyle, is now his career high. So don't let it be you. Don't let him get his 3rd straight career high in a row. Have him on your radar.
Ramsey, you just went from behind the glass on the board to in the NBA locker room, because that's exactly what you say. If you're on the Kings roster tonight and you're matching up with that dude, I'm sitting here saying, Kyle, don't let it be you, bro.
And the key for the
don't let it be you.
The bigger thing too for the Milwaukee Bucks, lengthy forwards that can defend and shoot. They know that that's the key in the modern NBA. You're going to see Bobby, even if Giannis doesn't play, which again, we'll have the injury update coming up later on. You've got Bobby Portis. You've got Miles Turner.
Right.
You've got Kyle Kuzma. Even Taurean Prince.
Right.
He's been playing excellent for them after being kind of a retread. They've got lengthy forwards that can shoot and defend.
They got lengthy forwards that can shoot and defend. They went out and got those guys. Why? Because they know they were letting Brook Lopez go. And Brook Lopez was the anchor down there. When you have a Brook Lopez, you can have small guys out there on the floor that pushes everybody out to the three-point line because you got a legitimate shot blocker behind you. But now you don't have that. So, yeah, you got to go out and get 6'10", 6'10", 6'11", 6'11", to have that length.
Well, we'll talk more about the Milwaukee Bucks coming up in a second, but I do want to point out here that the Bucks, who are 4-1, it is their best start since the championship season. So we'll see if that ends up continuing. But Milwaukee has, for now, seemingly fixed the ship in the air. It's a retool, shall we say. They've never had to go down, but this is a big year for them. It's year to year with Giannis now, and we'll see where it ends up going. I want to tell you first about Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento. They are looking for volunteer mentors. For just a few hours a month, you can impact the life of a child. Call 916-646-9300 or visit bbbs-sac.org to learn more. When we come back from the break, we are going to go around the NBA. There's a lot happening right now. Luka Doncic, he had a big game returning for the Lakers. Ja Morant, we'll see what ends up happening there. We'll also have our Who's on Fire segment brought to you by Firehouse Restaurant. All that and more coming up on the second half of the program. This is Game Day right here on Sactown Sports.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is the place where a handshake still means something. And when it comes to the car buying experience, it's not easy to find that kind of integrity nowadays. And right now, it's the Drive into Fall event, where they have the 2025 Grand Cherokee L for 0% APR financing for 60 months, plus $7,000 off MSRP. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. They have similar savings on every new vehicle. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, they're easy to find right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. And for the guaranteed lowest price, visit them online at SacSuperstore.com. On approved credit through Stellantis Financial for well-qualified borrowers. 1401 per thousand finance. Residency restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Ends 11/3/25.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test. It's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistant's assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back into game night right here on Sactown Sports 1140. It's game day today, everybody. Just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Kyle Ledbetter filling in for Scott Marsh. He is calling some UC Davis football, which is kicking off right about now. I'm joined here with the high flyer Henry Turner and our guy Ramsey Barker behind the glass. HT, let me ask you a question real quick before we move on, because we were talking about the Milwaukee Bucks, and you said something interesting during the break. We know Nick Clifford's coming back today. Mm-hmm. How do you counter the length of what the Milwaukee Bucks are doing?
It's tough. It's really tough, because when you look at Coach Christie's roster, the majority of the talent that he's playing out there is 6'6" and under.
Yeah.
Is 6'6" and under. So when you talk about having to go up against 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot, you're at a deficit. You know, even if you throw Nick Clifford in there, Nick Clifford is 6'7".
Yeah.
He's not he's not a tall guy. He's still a 3 at best. Now you're asking him to play 4, right? But I always figure, why do you get a kid and bring him in here at the, let's say, for example, you bring in a kid at the point guard position, he's a point. You brought him in here as a point. He played a point the whole year in college. And then once you get him here, you say, you know what? Yeah, you play point pretty good, but we want to put you as shooting guard. It kind of defeats the purpose, right?
You know, even on his basketball reference page, he comes in at 6'5", so even 6'7" is
right.
a stretch
I'm
for Nick.
stretching.
You know how these things go. 6'5" is 6'7", 6'7" is 6'9".
I didn't walk past the kid. We look eye to eye. We're the exact same height, so I know how tall he is. The thing about it is that you're going to put him out there. And yes, he's going to help you, but that's not his best position. That's why I'm telling you, I never thought that I would miss Keegan Murray this bad. Mm-hmm. I really didn't. I'm like, okay, Keegan Murray is a good player, but if he's down, we got other guys that can step in. Keegan fills a lot of the holes that the Kings have. I'm going to put it out there. Who guards your number one player on the offensive side? Keegan Murray. All right? Who's your second best rebounder? Keegan Murray, right? Who's your second tallest player that you're going to have out there on the floor in crunch time? Keegan Murray. Who's one of the players that you expect for him to shoot the ball, probably maybe number 3 from the three-point line? Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray fills a lot of holes for the Sacramento Kings, and when he's not out there, those holes are gaping.
You know, we had the conversation on the Alan Stiles show about, is he the most important player on the Kings? And just short of Sabonis.
He right there.
It's 1 and 2 in some order.
Like I said, I didn't want to think so, but when you look at our deficiencies out there at the basketball club, he's the dude that you point the finger at saying, Keegan does that. Keegan does this. Keegan feels that part. I mean, even when you look at when Sabonis goes down, all right, you got to put Eubanks in there. Yeah, you're going to lose something. You're probably going to lose some rebounding. You might lose a little scoring, but he don't guard the number one player. He rebounds the ball pretty decent. It's some other things that he put out there that you're like, okay, we missed Sabonis, but he can help us. Life without Keegan Murray has been pretty dismal for the Sacramento Kings.
That's why they're both getting paid the big bucks, right, Henry?
Yeah.
140 big ones for Keegan. Well, you had a great conversation during the break. Wanted to bring that on air, but we'll get back to the Kings in about, let's say, 10 minutes. We're going to have our injury report coming up. Right now, let's go around the NBA. It's a staple here on game day. So let's take a look at what's been going on throughout the league. Let's start off with last night and the big game. Lakers and Grizzlies seems to be taking the NBA by storm. Let's start with the Lakers here. Luka Doncic makes his return, 44 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. Henry, I know we talk about Luka all the time, but to just come back off the pine and just come out and do what he does night after night, it's truly remarkable. One of the best players in the league, but I guess he's no Austin Reeves, since Reeves put up, a good 51, 11, and 9 against the Kings at Golden One?
I was about to say, so what was Austin Reeves' numbers last night? Did he go back into his shell, or was he still Superman?
We can look it up real quick, but, Austin Reeves was averaging some 50-odd. It was an incredible game for him.
But I will say this about LD. I put him in the same... I put him in the same category as I do with James Harden. The dude's a freak out there. He gets the job done. He's one of the best in the business at what he does. You don't have to like his game, but you definitely got to respect it. He gets the job done.
He gets the job done. So the Lakers end up getting the win yesterday. Ja Morant for the Memphis Grizzlies on the losing end ended up kind of being the story of the game, though, Henry. Finished with 8 points in the loss. Had some passive-aggressive comments about his coaches in the post-game after the loss. And
when it breaks,
we have it first.
It's Sactown Sports breaking news.
According to Shams Charania, Ja Morant has been suspended 1 game with contract detrimental to the team.
So there you go. Ja Morant has now been suspended 1 game by the Grizzlies for his passive-aggressive comments coming out of the game.
Let me tell you this. Ja Morant, as good as he is, and for what he does for Memphis, he's probably the head of the snake, but he's not going to win this. He's had too much controversy under him. He has too many things outside of basketball. He's not going to win this battle. Now, if you look at let's throw it out there. If it was a Devin Booker, coach needs to be worried, okay? Like I said, if it's a Luka Doncic, coach better be worried. Most of the time, the players can play the bigger card. They can do what they want. They can say what they want because they run the league. But I'll tell you what, at this tenure with Memphis, he's on his way out.
I thought this summer would kind of be the time when we'd start to hear some of those rumors build up. Obviously, coach goes out at the end. They ended up trading Desmond Bane relatively early, so maybe that was part of the conversation. But, they seem committed to Ja and Jaren Jackson to see this thing through.
No, he's on his way out. I can tell you that now. Because, he's been too much of a red light for them without the success. Now, if you have the success, if you're an Allen Iverson, you can do pretty much whatever you want to because y'all winning. You're going to the finals every year. You're giving your team a chance to win. Same thing like a Gary Payton. GP did whatever he wanted to do in Seattle because that's the best that they'd ever played, and they getting close to the finals every year. Ja Morant, he's had his things off the court, but, bro, you're not being successful out there, and people are getting tired of your yakety-yakking, and the team's not playing well.
So that's interesting because over the offseason, they traded Desmond Bane. Mm-hmm. They've reshaped the roster. Now they've brought in KCP and a couple other pieces. But it was never really a question that Ja would be back. And even though he seemingly is on his way out at this point, does that mean the Grizzlies go to the bottom? Do they try and compete? They just gave Jaren Jackson Jr. a $240 million extension.
Well, I tell you what, JJ will be the guy that they probably have to try to build around now. They are looking at. I'm not gonna say they're doing it, but I bet you if you're a GM for Memphis, you're definitely looking at a contingency order with life without Ja. What can we get for him before he just totally blows everything up? Because as of right now, we are not going nowhere with him. Yes, he looks good. He's a superstar. The dude can play basketball, but he's not helping your team at all. And then you got to deal with all the off-court antics.
Yep, and we can add one more to those off-court antics. Ja Morant, just in the last few minutes, has been suspended 1 game by the Memphis Grizzlies for conduct detrimental to the team. That's in relation to the passive-aggressive comments he made about his coaches after last night's loss to the Lakers. Some other games going on today, bringing it back to the games. The Kings are actually first on the docket today, but if you hang around afterwards, you can get Wolves taking on the Hornets. The Magic are headed to Washington, D.C. to battle the Wizards.
Okay.
Golden State Warriors taking on the Tyrese Halliburton-less Indiana Pacers, who are off to a real rough start this season.
If you Indy, what do you do?
I think you just take a gap year, essentially.
I mean, I'm about to say, do you just stand pat and wait for Rishi to come back? Because really, you just went to the finals.
Yeah.
You just went to the finals. Let's say you may be one player away from saying, okay, we can make this happen, but Tyrese goes down and you're struggling now. And as an organization, it's hard to watch your team struggle and don't make a move. But do you make the move that's detriment for when Tyrese comes back? Because, camaraderie and the way the team goes as a whole is something very volatile, because if you're Indiana, right, and let's say you want to make 2 moves. Well, those 2 moves might not coincide with what Tyrese is doing. Now you've messed up the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's kind of the situation they got to ask themselves. At some point, I think we'll see Siakam get sat down. I'm not exactly sure when, but this thing's not looking like it's going in the right direction. Other games today, Rockets taking on the Celtics. That's kind of the game of the night.
Oh, yeah.
Mavericks are traveling to Detroit to take on the Pistons. And not NBA related, but Henry, we've got Game 7 of the World Series tonight.
Right. I mean, that's big. Whenever you could see a Game 7, it's just something about Game 7. Baseball, basketball, it's the epitome, because now you're going to see the cream of the crop rises. There is no tomorrow. It has to be done today. I like that.
Well, let me get your pick real quick before we go to break, Henry. If I had to pin you down, Dodgers or Blue Jays?
Where are they playing?
Toronto.
Ooh.
Well, they were in Toronto yesterday as well.
I want Toronto to win. I'm tired of having the Dodgers just win every year. I want to see Magic frown for 1 year, because Magic is smiling every time the Dodgers win.
Every single time.
And I don't want Magic smiling every year. Now, you got to have some type of adversity. I want the Jays to win.
This would be their 3rd championship in 6 years if the Dodgers pull it out. Blue Jays have not won the title since 1993.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm for the underdog.
Ramsey, who you got tonight? I know you're a baseball guy.
You already know. I got Toronto, especially after I seen them play in July at Sutter Health Park. I knew the team was good. I'm not surprised by what I'm seeing, and they're at home. They got last AB. Give me the Blue Jays.
I'll break it up. I'll go with the Dodgers here. Before we go to break here, we've got our Who's on Fire segment, and it's brought to you by Firehouse Restaurant. Oh, we got a little music for it. Okay. Fantastic. I just want you to know that at Firehouse Restaurant, you can level up your pregame at Firehouse for a quick and easy meal with valet parking for just $10. Real quick, Henry, the San Antonio Spurs. First 5-0 start in franchise history. Now, you talk about the silver and black all the time. They've had a lot of great years, haven't they?
Yeah, no doubt.
Never have they started 5-0 to begin a season as they have right now. Wemby has put up 30 points, 14.5 rebounds, and get this, 4.8 blocks per game.
Listen to what you just said, Kyle. You said never. And I'm talking about the dynasty that San Antonio had through the 90s and the 2000s. They basically ran through the NBA. They were the team you had to beat, and they were cooking.
Yep.
And they haven't done that ever.
ever. And they're doing it without our guy, De'Aaron Fox. Has not played a game yet for them this year. And here are the young Spurs at 5-0. We'll take the break. Coming back for our last segment, we're going to have our updated injury report. Is Giannis playing? Is Giannis not playing? We might just have that answer for you. And we'll get Henry's keys to the game. It's all coming up right here on Game Day, right here on Sactown Sports.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza, pizza the way it ought to be.
Hi, this is Henry Turner, a.k.a. the High Flyer. I've done a lot of amazing things on the basketball floor, but now it's your turn to be amazing. For more than 55 years, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento has helped out the youth beat many odds. Too many littles, especially boys, are still waiting for volunteers, Big Brothers. Volunteers to spend at least 4 to 6 hours a month with local youth who needs guidance and support. So donate your time to Big Brothers and Big Sisters of the greater Sacramento area. Get involved. It's easy as a layup. Call 916-646-9300.
For Arnold and Progressive, this is Turtle 30-second radio. The code is QRPI 0701000. 30 seconds radio stereo.
As America's #1 motorcycle insurer, Progressive has your back.
Oh, like replacing my bike in case of an accident?
Progressive's total loss coverage can help with that.
Great. And you also agree with me that my riding club should ride to the aquarium instead of cruising around a mountain, right?
Actually, we just do insurance. We don't vote in riding clubs.
Nice. 2 votes for the turtle exhibit.
To be clear, Progressive has your back for insurance only. So get a quote and see if you can save.
What are you, some kind of turtle hater?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions.
How do you stay humble when you're America's #1 wiper blade? That's what we're currently dealing with at Rain-X. Is it even possible to humble brag when you bully Mother Nature like we do? Do we sound too conceited if we keep repeating how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America? No, we'll take a lesson from our wipers and just keep doing our job with humility. As America's #1 wiper blade. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
If your vibe is the earlier the better, Lowe's early Black Friday deals are a no-brainer. Get up to 35% off select major appliances, and rewards members get free delivery, haul-away, basic installation, and a 2-year Lowe's protection plan when you spend $2,500 or more on select LG major appliances. Valid through 11/4. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change. LG member offer excludes Massachusetts, Maryland, Wisconsin, New Jersey, and Florida. Selection varies by location. Select locations only. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
My move.
Welcome back into Game Day right here on Sactown Sports 1140. Kyle Ledbetter here filling in for Scott Marsh. Scott Marsh is out at UC Davis football today. That game should be in the first quarter right about now. I'm joined by the high flyer Henry Turner. Ramsey Barker is your DJ aficionado behind the glass. It's time for our injury report here today. The Sacramento Kings, we know Keegan Murray's going to be out, but Ramsey, who's back there behind the glass, has got our injury report ready for us. Is there going to be a certain staple of the Kings who's going to be out today?
Why, yes, there is, Kyle.
That would be Mr.
That would be Mr. number 0.
Yeah, Malik Monk.
Man is out for personal reasons.
Yep.
Let's not speculate. He's just out for personal reasons.
Yes.
Keegan Murray's out. And Daquan Plowden has been activated for this game due to the Malik Monk absence. As of the previous injury report, which came out approximately 50 minutes ago, Giannis Antetokounmpo is still listed as questionable with the left knee soreness, left knee patellar tendinopathy, and Kevin Porter Jr. is out with a meniscus tear for the Milwaukee Bucks.
All right, well, G-Man should have an update for us on Giannis when he joins us in just about 10 minutes, so stay tuned. G-Man's always got the scoops before we get them on the official injury report.
Oh, yeah, he be right there. G be on it.
So, yes, Malik Monk is going to be out with personal reasons today. Unclear exactly what that is, but he's not with the team right now. Obviously, Keegan Murray's going to be out, but the return of Nick Clifford missed the last 4 games with the hamstring injury. Henry, I know it's hard to preview the game. You know, if Giannis is playing, if Giannis isn't playing, the entire strategy changes, but just knowing that Nick's going to be back, what do you think? Should they do a starting lineup change? What are your thoughts on the game today?
I don't know if you do a startup lineup change just for Nick Clifford. I think that Doug is still searching for something to work. You know, we're 1-4. So a lot of things are still up in the air. Kyle, I honestly think that for right now, there's more questions about this basketball team than when we started out in camp early on this year. I think now we got more questions about, okay, what we're going to do, how this is going to be done. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered. So if Doug goes with another starting lineup, I don't think it has to be because of Nick.
Well, going into training camp, it would have been hard to see that you wouldn't have had Keegan Murray for this extended period of time and that Russell Westbrook would be getting significant starts essentially in his place. I mean, Westbrook is playing more 3 and 2, but he's been in the lineup.
And then you would have actually thought that we would have be able to contend a little bit more around the rim. You would have thought that we would be able to defend just a little bit better on-ball defense. The 3-ball has been a problem. Not a huge problem, but still has been a problem as far as the Kings being able to defend that. I mean, you wouldn't have thought that a lot of these deficiencies that we see early on this year would be popping up like this.
Yeah, and again, it's a long schedule, long season for the Kings, but specifically today, they've got some questions to answer because whether Giannis plays, Giannis doesn't play, you've got yourself some Miles Turner, Bobby Portis, Kyle Kuzma.
Well, I will say this. If Giannis is not on the floor, that changes up your defensive strategy big time.
All right, just a minute left here, Henry. Give me your biggest key to today's game for the Sacramento Kings.
If I can just pick out one, Kyle, I would have to say gang rebound. I think the gang rebounding is probably one of the biggest hurdles that this basketball team is going to have to get over, because if you can't rebound that basketball, you can't get out and start this high-octane offense that you want to have. If you can't rebound the basketball, you're going to give Milwaukee Bucks second and third chances at shots. So that's 2 things that really don't equate to a win if you're the Sacramento Kings.
I'm with you. As we mentioned earlier, last in the league in rebounding right now. Let's see if the Kings can turn it around today. Still, we'll find out what's happening with Giannis Antetokounmpo coming up with G-Man on the pregame. Well, Henry, it has been an absolute pleasure to fill in here today on game day. It's brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Check out their full line of vehicles at mbofstockton.com. Henry, until next time, I hope the very best for you and for our Sacramento Kings.
Kyle, I can only do one thing. Salute, my brother.
Salute to you, Henry. Thank you, Ramsey, behind the glass. Chris Watkins will be sliding into this chair for Kings Live pregame coming up next. You're listening right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the three. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the